Ever catch a reflection of yourself in a shop window and realize you look less like a functioning human and more like a walking question mark? If you spend 10 hours a day hunched over a keyboard or gripping a controller, congratulations, your spine is basically turning into a shrimp. But here's the thing that nobody tells you. You aren't actually short, you're just folded. And no, I'm not trying to sell you some sketchy growth pills or a medieval stretching rack. Give me exactly 5 minutes and I will unlock the 2 centimeters currently hiding inside your spine right now. Let's fix that structure. First, we need to clear something up. Stop beating yourself up. You don't look like this because you're lazy or unmotivated or because you lack discipline. You look like this because your body is actually a genius at adapting. It is simply doing exactly what you tell it to do. Think of your body like a block of wet clay. If you spend 10 to 12 hours a day molded into a C shape, hunched over a keyboard, locked in a ranked match, or just doom scrolling on your phone, eventually that clay is going to dry. And it dries in that exact shape. That is literally what is happening to your connective tissue right now. When you are deep in the zone, focused on the screen, your head naturally starts to drift forward to close the distance. We call this nerd neck. But let's look at the physics because it is actually terrifying. Your head weighs about 10 to 12 pounds, basically a bowling ball. When it is stacked straight on top of your spine, it feels weightless. But for every inch you stick that chin forward towards the monitor, gravity multiplies the load. At the angle most gamers sit, that bowling ball suddenly exerts 60 pounds of pressure on your cervical spine. Let that sink in. That is the equivalent of letting an 8-year-old child sit on your neck for 8 hours straight while you try to aim. Now you might think, but it feels comfortable to sit like this. No, it doesn't. That isn't comfort. That is your body entering survival mode. Your brain realizes that if you keep holding 60 pounds with just muscle, your neck is going to give out. So it lays down extra tough connective tissue, almost like scar tissue, to lock your joints in place. It is solidifying you into that position just to keep your head from hitting the desk. You aren't relaxing. You are literally turning into stone to survive your own habits. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. I'll just hop on Amazon and buy one of those posture correctors. Stop. Do not do that. Those straps are the biggest scam in the fitness industry. And if you have one in your cart right now, delete it. Here's the dirty little secret they don't tell you. When you wear a brace that physically pulls your shoulders back for you, your actual back muscles think, oh cool, someone else is doing the job. So they clock out, they go on vacation. Instead of fixing the problem, you are making your muscles lazier. You are training them to do absolutely nothing. The moment you take that strap off, you slump even harder because you just weakened your own support system. It's like wearing a cast on a perfectly healthy arm. Eventually, that arm turns into a noodle. You cannot buy a quick fix for a mechanical problem. And please, stop trying to force yourself to just sit up straight by sheer willpower. We've all tried it. You realize you're hunching, you aggressively puff your chest out, you look like a soldier for about 2 minutes, and then boom, you're back to being a shrimp. That is a losing battle. Why? Because your chest muscles have become short and tight like a dried out rubber band. Think of it like this. That tightness in your chest is constantly pulling your shoulders forward with massive force. Trying to fight that tension with just your mind is like trying to hold a big beach ball underwater. You can do it for a minute, maybe 2 if you really grind, but eventually your arms are going to get tired and that ball is going to pop right back up to the surface. You cannot win against physics with just willpower. You don't need to force your body into position. You need to release the brakes that are holding you down. So how do we actually fix this without quitting our jobs or moving into a yoga studio? We need a strategic system reboot, and the good news is you can do this right next to your desk while your game is loading. It takes exactly 5 minutes. Step 1 is the release. I want you to find a doorway. Put your arms up at 90 degrees, place your forearms on the frame, and step through until you feel your chest tearing apart. I mean that in a good way. We need to physically break that rubber band tension in the front before we can do anything else. Hold that for 30 seconds. You are basically hitting the undo button on 8 hours of slouching. Step 2 is the reset. This is where it gets humble. We're doing wall angels. Stand with your back flat against a wall. Heels, butt, shoulders, and head all touching. Put your arms up like a stick up. Now slide them up and down without letting your wrists or your lower back leave the wall. This is going to burn. It might even make you shake. That isn't injury. That is your weak upper back muscles finally waking up from a 10-year coma. They are screaming because they finally have to do their job. Do 10 slow reps. Step 3 is the reinforce. We call these chin tucks. I want you to pull your head straight back like you're trying to make the ugliest double chin possible. Do not tilt your head up or down, just slide it back like a drawer. I know it looks absolutely ridiculous, but holding this for 10 seconds resets that 60-pound leverage on your neck. It aligns your ears directly over your shoulders where they belong. I can already hear you typing, "I'm not doing this in the office, I look like an idiot." Listen, I know it looks silly, but would you rather look silly for 60 seconds or look like a Walking Dead extra for the rest of your life? That's what I thought. Do 10 reps. It's not a workout, it's a system update. Here is the reality. You aren't growing new bone. You are reclaiming the space you already own. When you do this routine daily, you aren't just adding 2 centimeters to your height, you are changing how the world perceives you. A hunched gamer looks closed off, tired, and unconfident. An upright gamer looks dominant and capable. It's the same hardware, just a better chassis. So here is my challenge to you. Go measure your height right now. Do this routine. Then measure again. Drop that number in the comments. Stop looking down at your keyboard. Look up at the world. Walk tall.